Hello, everyone. Someone asked me a question. Said that when you are believing God for something for a long time, but you are not seeing the results, what do? You got to keep believing. Let me tell you guys, when my sister was sick in her 20s, my sister was so sick, she could not sleep. She used to sit up in the bed and just shake for 24 hours a day. She couldn't sleep because of the pain was so bad. Her eyeballs was about to just seem like they was coming out of her eyes. At the socket, she would throw up. She was throwing up bowels. She was throwing up blood. She just was hurting so bad, and the doctors did not know what this was. Do you not know how that was to see my sister go through that pain? And I couldn't do nothing about it. Y'all, I went through that. Me and my sister went through that for 7.5 years. And then we'll go to the doctor. One doctor said it was I don't know what you call that on the side. My sister was a nurse. I don't know, gallbladder, yeah. And they took the gallbladder out, and we was excited because we thought that's what it was. But guess what? It wasn't that. She still was sick. Not knowing is the worst type of pain that you can ever have. You guys, I was walking around and it just felt like I had a truck right here because my sister was hurting in pain. My mom was on the drugs at the time. I told you guys about that in another video, but God delivered her. And then I had my kids and my sister's kids to take care of, plus go to work on top of that. And let me tell you, God kept me. God kept me because I trusted him. It was times where I didn't even know what to do. All I did was get in the room and I just said, Jesus, 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 Jesus. I would just pray. I would fast and pray, just call the name of Jesus. Because when my sister got sick, I would have to leave my house and go live with her and I'll never forget one day that the spirit in her was so mad with me. And when I went to go stay with her, she just got real ugly with me. And I knew it was a spirit. So I don't know what you're coming over here for. You need to leave, because she was hurting. Just imagine, she'd been hurting for, that time I think it had been 3 years. You hurting for 3 years. I don't know if you never know. We would go shopping, bam, the pain would hit her. We would have to turn back around and go back home. And I'm not talking about like 10 minutes down the street. I'm talking about we had to go like 30 minutes, 45 minutes to the grocery store because we lived in the country. And we would have to turn back around and go home. And she would be like, Mook. My sister, she called me Mook. She said she would feel so bad. She would be like, Mook, I'm sorry that you got to go through this. Like, I'm sorry. We came way out here and we got to go back. And I say, no, I love you. Don't worry about that. I'm not worried about that. And I meant that I didn't want her to feel no type of way for me. That's my sister. I love her. I didn't care about going. We could have drove 2 hours. And if she got sick, turn around, I wouldn't have been mad at her. But I kept believing, you guys. I kept believing. That's why when people would speak negative stuff over my sister, I wouldn't let them. I would stop them. And there was some people get mad because they believe what they see. See, people believe what they see. They don't believe what God said. But I was the one there with my sister going through that pain when she would be crying and stuff. And I would have to be up with her sometimes. And I would pray and the Lord would tell me what to do sometimes. God said, go in there and pray one prayer and just get out. Because I didn't want her to believe in me. It's not me. It was God. And then I would pray so hard. Y'all, let me tell you, that's why I got anointing in the gift of healing in my hand. Because I would pray so long. One day I had to go to God one day. I'll never forget. I just wrapped the toilet. I was hurting, just in so much of pain. I just put my arms around the toilet and I said, God, if I'm holding on to my sister too tight, just whatever is in your will, just let it be done. I say, just take her, even though I love my sister. Because you got people telling you all this, no sickness is unto death, this and that, just all this type of stuff. And I never forget, God gave me that song, Trust Jesus. I will trust you. And I just had to keep singing that. I will trust you when I'm happy. I will trust you When I'm sad, I will trust you to do what you said you would do. And let me tell y'all, 7.5 years, my sister went through that. I never stopped trusting. People would tell me, you got to go on with your life. You young. I'm 20-some years old. You got your own life. I've never been married. My sister was married, but, situation happened, whatever. Her husband wasn't there at the time. And, but I couldn't leave my sister because I didn't want, if it would have been me, I wouldn't want her to leave me. I was all my sister had. My mama wasn't in a position to be there for her. My dad he was seeing so much of pain because, I love my mom, my dad. I was a daddy's girl. And, but I'm a mom and a daddy's girl. But I just make sure they okay. I just love my parents, And he cried. My dad cried to me one day. I never forget that. And he broke down, and it hurted me so bad to hear my dad cry because he was on the phone talking to me, and he just started crying. And he was like, it hurt me so bad to see my child in so much pain I can't do nothing to help her. And let me tell y'all, I cried, y'all. My sister had a voicemail on her phone that when I called the phone, it sounded like she was in pain. And I told her one day, I said, change that, please. Because I hated to hear that sound. Like I was walking and because I never knew you never knew when she was going to get sick. And I was just let me tell y'all, I kept trusting God. I didn't stop trusting him. And he did. God healed her of that. My sister passed 3 years this year, but it wasn't of what she went through when she was in her 20s. She didn't die because of that. God did that. We went through so many doctors, y'all. I done had to pull my sister up out of hospitals because some of these doctors and nurses were so mean and hateful. And I'm in the nursing field, but once you let them know you in the nursing field, they try to treat you better. That's why you got to have a good heart. And I would get so mad because they felt like my sister my sister had a high tolerance of pain. She never liked to take pain medicine. She didn't want to take no pain pills. She would sit there and just shake. She would get in hot water. She would shake. And it just was so hard, you guys. Don't nobody know what I went through with that. But I thank God. And I'll never forget one day I was hurting so bad. But you couldn't tell I was hurting because I used to just stay prayed up. And I was talking to this lady, and she was, she just told me, she said, I don't know what you doing, but whatever you doing, she said, you got the hairs on my arm rising up. And she said, don't you stop. But she don't know I was hurting in the inside. I was hurting, but I kept trusting God. So what do you do when you praying and believing God for something that ain't happened yet? You keep trusting him. Let me tell y'all something. I've been believing God for a husband for over 25 years. Over 25 years. And let me tell you, I've met people that you think they a man of God, you think they the one, they wasn't. But you got to learn from your experience. I've met some of the meanest people. You try to be nice, and I just met people that say who they are, they wasn't. But you can't let that stop you. I've ministered to women that's older than me. Some of them was crying because they didn't have no kids and they didn't have no husband. So they really was, alone. I did have my kids to keep me company, but you got to find something within yourself. You got to be happy within yourself so that you won't let what you believe in God for to overwhelm you. It's been times I felt that God had a husband for me. And if he sent him, I'm good. If he didn't, I'm still good. Because I love who I am. I love myself. Yes, we get alone. Yes, I get lonely sometimes, but I'm not alone. And then every time I go places, the first thing people ask me, you married yet? You married yet? When I first moved to Hattiesburg, I go back home. Ain't no man from Hattiesburg and got you, everywhere. But I just be like, I'm waiting in God. I'm happy. I'm okay. But they let me know that you got people that's watching you. They be watching you to see, okay, she been believing in God for all these years. Ain't nothing happened yet, baby. Keep watching. Because I'm going to still believe God. I'm believe God till Jesus come back. Even if he don't ever sin, I'm going to still believe God. You got to keep trusting God and don't let nobody, I don't care It's been time where God has sent people to me. It was a woman I work in a nurse home, 99 years old, say she was finna have an anniversary the next day. And I'm like, oh, y'all finna have a 50, 60-year-old anniversary. She said, baby, this is my first year anniversary. See, God will bring stuff back to me like that to keep me going. And then I've had people to tell me, maybe you're not meant for marriage. Maybe you just here to minister to other people and encourage other people. The devil is a liar. That's why you got to be careful who you talk to. And then some people don't even know what they say because it's life and death in your words. They don't be meaning no harm, but they've hurted me. I called my cousin up. I'm like, I don't want, I look here. I love minister people, but I want to do what God say do. But I didn't ask for the gift of Paul. When you being celibate and you've been celibate for a long time, I'm human and you can be kept. Because God keeping me. But at the same time, no, I don't want to be just here to minister to other people. I want to have my own husband too. So you just got to be careful what you allow people to say to you. You got to know what you want from God and you got to believe God. And God, the Bible says if you delight yourself in him, that he will give you the desires of your heart. So I'm sweating, y'all, because I'm sitting in my vehicle and I turn the air off. And I'm just sitting out here because last time I did a video, somebody asked me why I was sweating so much. And so that's why. But you got to believe God. You got to know what you want and you got to trust him. And even if he don't do it, you still got to trust him because it's going to give you peace and joy. You're going to be happy. I'm happy if you do it. I'm happy if you don't. But I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to lose hope in God. Job lost everything he had, but he believed God. When his wife told him to curse God and die, he said, you sound like a foolish woman. And she cursed God and died. And when she looked back, turned into a pillar of salt. No, you keep going. I don't care how old you are. You keep believing God. I don't care how many rotten apples you done ran across. You keep going because, baby, the right apple gonna come sooner or later. The only way you don't get it is if you stop believing. And I have to tell people this all the time. But I don't, and that's the reason why I'm bringing this video, because somebody asked me this, and this is just coming to me, y'all. What do? You keep praying. You keep believing. You keep trusting God. You got to know who God is. If he said it, he will do it. God know when you're ready. Some of us be ready to get a husband or wife, and you ain't even ready for the man yet. You ain't even ready for the woman. You got things in you that you don't even know. Keep praying and keep giving it to God. And I know you may be old, but you still ain't ready yet. Because some of you all don't know how to be, y'all don't know how to be respectful. You don't know how to submit to your husband. And some of the husbands don't know how to treat the women right. God got to take you through a process. And I'm not talking about like submit, like, I'm a rule over you. Some of y'all don't even really know the real definition of submitting to a real man, because if a man love you the right way, what woman wouldn't want to submit to him in a healthy way? I'm not talking about like submit, you just bossing and control around. So you got to grow. You have to learn from your mistakes and stop taking up all these negative mindsets. And you got to learn, renew your mind. That's what you do. When you believe in God for something, let me tell y'all something. A few months ago, when my sister passed, I just went into a place that I have never been in before, because I've never had nobody like that that's so close to me to die. And I was just going on and going on and going on. And I just feel like I could never get depressed. Not me, but I was. Because when I go to my doctor's appointment, I went for a regular doctor's appointment, and I had to answer some questions, and okay, I'm about to go speaking in tongues. I had to open that door, y'all. I'm sweating like crazy. But the lady, she asked me, she told me that I was depressed. And I'm like, no, I'm not depressed. But I really was. And because I, I like to be real and authentic. And some things I just don't talk about yet, because there's a season of time for all things. But all I want to say is, I got a testimony that's going to come up soon, but I'm just going to say this. God showed me some things about me. You know, when you praying, asking God to build up my faith, to do this and do that, he will allow you to go through things sometimes so that it can be built. You know, when you say, I trust you, God, but then when you really faced with something and you really don't trust him, you say you trust him, but you really, really don't. Because faith will move God. God can move when he wants. But it's us sometimes, you know, and what I'm saying is that's what's going to cause you to get in a deeper relationship with God. When you don't see something, I'm not saying you ain't going to cry about it. I'm not saying you're not going to get weary. The Bible says don't get weary in your well-doing. So you just can't get weary in your well-doing. Yes, you're going to get, you know, these feelings going to come up, but you can't stop. Where you going to go? If you stop trusting in God, where are you going to go? You're going to go down worse than what you already feeling. You know, I've had, let me tell y'all, and I don't even know why I'm talking about this, but the last lady I had cried to me so hard because she was believing God for a husband. She was getting older and older. She's older than me. I'm 46 now, but she was older than me. And she was just crying. And I had to cover myself with the blood of Jesus because, look, I'm not married. I'm like, God, you sending me these people. Look, I ain't married. I ain't even married. God didn't have me even minister to married people. So, like, I felt like, okay, God, you got me minister to married people so I can take some of this in so that when I do get married, and this time I maybe, let me tell y'all, you got to do what's best for you. I could be talking to somebody and have my cell phone right there, and I'll be like, hold on, y'all, my husband calling me, and I'll pick it up, and I'll get to talking to him. And they be looking at me like you crazy. Okay, I'm walking by faith. They laugh. They start laughing with me. Yeah, we finna laugh. I'm like, yeah, baby, okay, I'm talking to so-and-so. All right, I'll talk to you later. I'll let you know when I'm getting ready to leave. Just, you know, and it just keep your faith going. You got to do little things like that. It ain't that you crazy, but you believe in God. If you get to a place where you don't see, you've been believing God for so long and ain't nothing happened, baby, you got to change up. You know, I have been believing God for so long. Do you hear people say, you know, God, you've been believing God? Let me tell y'all something. And I'm finna get ready to get up off here. I'll never forget, y'all. I was at church one year. I would never forget this. This old man, his wife was in the church, but he was outside. Nothing but the devil. I walked outside to get something out of my car. I think one of my CDs, somebody wanted to purchase one. And this man walked over to me and asked, he said, God ain't sent you no husband yet? And I said, no, sir. I said, but I'm patiently waiting. He said, God must have done forgot about you. That man told me that. And I looked at him. I said, no, he ain't forgot about me. I said, but I'm patiently waiting. See, that right there could have broke me. Those words could have made me feel so bad. But I was in a place in God, I wasn't feeling nobody shake me. See, that's the devil. That ain't nothing but the devil. The devil send, when you believe in God for something, the devil will send people to you to distract you, to make you stop believing God, to make you feel bad. But I didn't let that stop me. That was the devil. You should have been in the church anyway. Why are you outside waiting on your wife to come out of church? You outside. I'm like, well, Lord, if I got to wait a long time to wait for a good husband to get one like you, I don't want him. I'll wait. I mean, because I've been happy in God for so long, you want to wait for the right, even though you know you're not going to meet nobody perfect, but you're going to meet somebody perfect for you. And you got to just believe God. So that's what you do. When you've been believing God for something, I don't care, it ain't even got to be a husband or a wife. It could be anything. You could be believing God for your healing. You could be believing God to get your credit straight. You could be believing God for somebody else's deliverance, for your children to be back in God, for your family, your auntie, your uncle, your dog, your cat, whatever. Keep believing. I don't care who call you crazy. Keep believing God. God is not a man that he shall lie. His word will not come back to him void. If you keep standing on the word, it's going to come to pass. I don't care how long it's been. And trust me and believe, I'm going to keep believing. I don't care who believe with me. I don't care who don't believe with me. I thank God for the people that do believe with me. And I just thank God. Because guess what? I'm going to keep believing. And that's what you got to do. And I had to get up off that phone. And it's been times where I met people that I thought, you know, were the one. And then as soon as you tell somebody about them, they get to acting up. And you have to let that go. And then the people be like, because people knows now, they ready to look. That's why I don't put my stuff out on the social media. I come on here to minister, and I do what God tell me to do. But I don't care, because if something ain't working for me, I'm finna let it go. You think I'm finna sit up here and just settle? Y'all, my hair might be looking crazy. I don't care. Because I can't. Look, it's hot. You think I'm finna just settle? And all the work that I done put in myself, and then being happy by myself and all that stuff, I'm just going to settle because I want to make people see that I got somebody. I want the people to see, I got somebody. No. Anybody can get anybody. Let me tell you, I done had people tell me so many things. I thank God that I am rooted and grounded in him, because I could get a man. I can get any man. But who wants any man? Half of them got disease they ready to give out. I mean, they ready to get him out. I don't want you the disease. You can keep him. No, it ain't all about that. And it's just that you got to know who you is in God. Stop letting people discourage you by what they say just because they don't believe. And half the people that was telling me about why God ain't sent me no husband, they was in bad marriages themselves. Like, I'm more happy than you, and I'm single. And I'm telling y'all something. I'm not just saying this stuff. I mean this. And yes, it had to take me some time to get to where I'm at. I've been through some stuff, and it might not have been such a lot of stuff. We all go through different stuff. Your stuff is your stuff. My stuff is my stuff. We all been through stuff, and it hurts. So that's what I'm saying. You keep trusting God. And if somebody asks me that's my answer. Keep trusting God. I don't have all the answers to everything, but I got the answer to what I know and to what I've been through. So you believe in God for something, you keep believing him. I believed God for 7.5 years for my sister to be healed, and he did it. People say she had voodoo on them. I had, I even went and spent my money on this man. They tell me it's a man down here in the next town. He'll give you something to take it out. I was desperate, but I was desperate for the wrong. And I didn't believe in. I didn't really believe in that stuff, but it is real. But we bought that stuff. I paid $650 for that stuff, wasting my money. They didn't do nothing. And I had to go repent and ask God to forgive me for that, for opening up that door. But I was hurting. It's like I was the only people. I mean, it had people that was believing with me, but I was there in the midst of the fire. Just like when he threw Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fire's furnace. Lord, I bless your name, Jesus. Yes, God. It just felt like I was right there in the fire's furnace. So I was trying to do whatever I had to do to keep believing God and keep trusting God. And I stood on his word. So I love you guys. I'm finna get ready to go, y'all. I'm getting happy, and I'm hot, and I'm sweating. So don't talk about me. Don't talk about my sweat. That's okay. I'm gonna take a shower. So don't talk about me. I just came back, and I'm sitting in here and I'm sweating. So remember, keep trusting God no matter what nobody say. Keep trusting God. Y'all. Well, whatever. Keep trusting God. No matter what nobody say, know that I love you guys and Jesus love you more. Be encouraged and God bless.